What's going on, everyone? It's Mitch, back at it with another video here, focusing on health, of course, but what specifically? If you're looking in the background, you could have guessed it. The focus is on smoothies, and specifically fruit smoothies. And why, right? When we talk about health, one thing's for sure, we gotta be consuming water content rich foods. Fruit is one of them. Vegetables is another one. Fruit specifically is great in the morning time because it's going to give our body the sugar that we need in order to perform, energize us throughout the day, our brain to function, all of these things. And of course, if you remember from the last video, the fiber content is going to help prevent the sugar spikes. It's going to help delay the release of the sugar into the bloodstream a little bit more so than, let's say, a high C or a Sunny D or a Gatorade or candy, right? That's pure sugar. When it comes to fruit and fiber, specifically the sugar to fiber ratio is made from Mother Nature. In addition to that, the sugar to water ratio, or the concentration of sugar, is made by Mother Nature as well. And so we're also made from Mother Nature, we're made from the earth. And so if we're consuming things that are made from Mother Earth, it's going to be in that ratio that our bodies is going to best absorb it and function properly because of that, okay? Bloodstream's not going to be bogged down. Our heart's not going to have to work as hard if we're hydrated, right? Water-rich foods are great. And getting those in the morning is going to set your day up for success because we're going to start out by eating yellow, blue, red, all of these different colors of the rainbow. And so if we're setting ourselves up for success by consuming these nutrient-rich foods in the morning, we're going to be less likely to consume things like desserts, cake, cookies, ice cream, things that don't really provide us any nutrient value other than a quick sugar fix or a quick sugar high, which is of course going to make us crash because it doesn't have any water in it and it's really just nutrientless. There's no value to it almost, okay? So without further ado, let's get into it. What are we gonna put in the smoothies, right? So first off, all you need is a blender. I have a Ninja blender and it's lasted me about 3 years and I've ground up anything from the hardest vegetables to fruit, tons of it, okay? I've used it day in, day out, and it's produced. So if you need a good blender, I highly recommend the Ninja. If you have extra money, get a Vitamix, that's a commercial blender. And if you don't have that much money, just get something like an Ostermeyer, okay? Something that just gonna be a solid blender for you if you're gonna make this a part of your diet, which I highly recommend you do. And if we're talking about making it a part of your diet, it's important to remember the consistency part and starting out slow. Whenever we make changes to our diet, our body doesn't really know how to handle that. And so if you're starting out with a smoothie in the morning, your body may react to that as, whoa, what is this? How am I gonna react to this? And what are we gonna do in order to process this food? Luckily, it's made from the earth, and so our bodies have those enzymes in it to know what to do with it, as opposed to processed food, which is gonna bog you down, and you may not have what you need in order to process that. And so you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck by switching to this, but it's important to start small, okay? Start out with 1 banana and maybe a cup of berries, and gradually work your way up until you get to a meal out of it, okay? And we'll talk about how to make that a meal. I usually use 2 to 3 bananas in my smoothies. However, if I know that I'm not going to be eating for about 4 or 6 hours after the smoothie, I may amp that up to 4 to 6 bananas, okay? Kid you not. When it comes to smoothies, you got to make sure that you're putting in enough fruit in order to sustain that, all right? 1 to 2 bananas is not going to cut it, okay? You need to be 3, 4, 5 bananas. The bananas is going to give it the texture. It's going to give you that bulk, and it's going to give you your bang for your buck. Because bananas are always cheap, okay? They're always in season, and you gotta have them, okay? Speaking of in season, okay? If you don't like berry mix, you can choose to just use strawberries. You can choose to just use blueberries. The only reason I'm using triple berry mix is because I like the variety, I like the taste, and I like the way that it's frozen because I don't have to add extra ice into my smoothies in order to make it frothy and thick, which is what I like out of a smoothie. The other thing that you can consider in substitute for this is mangoes. Mangoes are so good. If you want a banging smoothie, bananas and mangoes in a 2-to-1 ratio or a 1-to-1 ratio, so 2 bananas and 2 mangoes, that is a beautiful smoothie, and that's all you need. If you want to use bananas and frozen triple berry mix, I recommend again 2 to 3 bananas. Start out small, start with 1, but again, a cup of this is all you're going to need, and it's going to give it that color, it's going to give it that texture, it's going to give it that frothiness, it's going to give it that taste. Okay, you're not going to taste many bananas when you put a little bit of this in it. Believe it or not, you'd think, Mitch, why are you adding so many bananas? Trust me, the banana flavor gets canceled out because this flavor is so powerful. All right, that's all you need in terms of fruit. And why am I telling you to do this? Right? What's the purpose? Well, sickness prevention. If you find yourself getting sick quite a bit, it can help break up mucus. It can help your immune system. It can help hydrate your vessels, getting the nutrients and pulling bad toxins and mucus and inflammation out of your sinuses, okay? The fiber, the water, all that stuff is huge in terms of your immune system. Antioxidants, we're talking about anti-cancer stuff here, huge, okay? So get in the fruit smoothies in the morning. That's a must. It's gonna be a game changer for you. Okay, if you want to go above and beyond that in terms of maybe not so much on the detoxification side, if you want to make this more of a meal, if you're not really concerned with weight loss, because when it comes to weight loss, these things are very powerful, all right? I have key witnesses that have witnessed me starting to consume these on a daily basis in the morning, and I legitimately went from 170 pounds to 145 pounds within 3 months. And now I also got rid of meat and dairy out of my diet at that time. However, I believe these smoothies were the key to that, okay? I got to the point where I was looking at myself in the mirror right before I was about to take a shower, and I was looking at my midsection and I was like, man, where is this fat going? Because it just falls off if you start consuming these smoothies. I kid you not. I am telling you that if you want to lose weight, drinking a fruit smoothie in the morning is huge. And you don't even really need to do that much exercise, because what these do to your GI system, the churning and the burning and the readily available nutrients and energy that you get from these, your body is going to expel weight that you didn't even think that you had, okay? It's going to pull from biofilms, bacteria. It's gonna get rid of your fat stores because it's quick in, quick out with sugar. Okay, our body doesn't store it as much as you'd think if it's coming from a fruit source. It's gonna go in and it's gonna go out, and it's gonna take stuff out with it. Okay, serious business, if you know what I mean. All right. But with that being said, if that's not what your goal is, if you don't really care about weight loss as much, if you don't really care about detox as much, if you're not concerned with illness and disease and cancer, you can make this a meal shake, okay? And it's really easy. I used to do this back in the gym. They used to call me Shake Master Mitch. Okay, there's tons of different things you can add. You can add chia seeds, flax seeds, okay? You can add protein powder, which I have here. This is a vegan type, but you can also use whey protein. You also can use peanut butter. Highly recommend the natural peanut butter. Watch out for the hydrogenated syrups and the oils and the other types of peanut butters. Okay, go for the natural stuff. If you don't like that really thick oil on the top, you can get something like a Skippy Natural, which doesn't have as much as that, and it doesn't have the hydrogenated oils in it. You can also choose Smart Balance if you have an extra buck or two. It's really good stuff. All right. But with that being said, you know, the only other thing that I wanted to mention is the water and the ice component of these smoothies, okay? The water and the ice. You want to add in a little bit of water, but remember, when we're adding in a lot of water-rich foods, we don't need as much water as we think. But when you start adding in peanut butter and protein powder, right? And I only recommend 1 to 2 scoops of protein. Don't go crazy on that stuff. All right, you need water in order to flush that down your GI and actually get it absorbed. A lot of people like to put in 3 to 5 scoops and all this and that. Guess what? It's not getting absorbed. But when it comes to the water and the ice content, use enough water to make sure that you're blending everything in the blender, right? You don't want leftovers getting stuck on the sides. That's precious material. But you also want to use some ice. If you're not using a lot of frozen mix, if you're just using bananas and mangoes, for example, throw in a cup of ice water. What I like to recommend is filling up a 16-ounce cup with ice all the way to the top, and then also water either halfway or full, depending on how much fruit you have. If you have a lot of fruit, you may not need as much water as you think. But if you don't have as much fruit and you have more peanut butter and protein powder and other types of seeds and whatnot, then you may want to go ahead and increase the water in that cup. And then what you do from there is you just go ahead and put it in, and you'll find out when you start mixing these things on a regular basis, not only is the weight going to fall off, not only are you going to be more energized, but you're going to find out different things about the body and how you're going to start choosing healthier foods during the day. And it really is an enlightening experience. And I just wanted to share this information with you because it has been so powerful in my life that I felt guilty not sharing it with you. Okay, so please use this information to your benefit. I've found out the hard way that you don't want to mess with this too much. If you go too hard too fast, it's going to mess you up. All right, start small. When you talk about changes to the diet, it's all about baby steps. And so if you go from 0 to 100, you may get some bad effects. But if you start out small and you start adding in incrementally the amount that I get up to, which is about 3 bananas and a cup of this, plus a couple of scoops of protein, because I like a little bit of protein in my shakes, and you're going to start seeing these effects. And they are serious effects because we're messing with diet, and diet is a very powerful thing, and diet is a very touchy subject as well. So try it out, start small, and stay consistent, and you are going to see results. Let me know how you do in the comments below. Give this video a like if you appreciated it, and subscribe. I'm going to be releasing content like this out on every now and then, not too often, but I am going to start releasing this content more if people like it. So with that being said, I thank you for your time. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.